welcome to Sun Belt basketball here in snowy Norfolk, Virginia, as we get ready for the Marshall Thundering Herd and the Old Dominion Monarchs, a game that could mean a lot for the standings as we get ready for the Sun Belt tournament in about 2 weeks. Good evening, Scott Jackson and Billy Mann here with you inside Chartway Arena, where, again, these two teams, both are hungry for a victory. Marshall's dropped their last two, Old Dominion's dropped their last three, and as we get into ones to watch, Billy, let's start with Abina and Achille Killen for the Thundering Herd.
Yes, Abina Achille Killen is a three-level scorer. I mean, he's a fifth-year senior, very experienced, 6'8", 215-inch, 220. Very difficult player to guard. He can score, he can block, especially defensively. Really good inside player.
Well, the Monarchs, it's their double-double machine, Sean Duro-Gordon.
Yeah, Sean has been, throughout the season, he's a guy that realized they didn't have to really set things for him. He could go and get it himself. Sometimes I think he actually gets tired at times because he goes so hard and tries to do so many different things. As you can see, averaging 15-8, and, certainly does his job with the hard hat and getting those tough baskets.
Well, as we get into the series history, of course, two programs that have seen each other quite a few times from their years in Conference USA and now here in the Sun Belt. Monarchs, slight edge in the all-time series. Last year actually swept the Thundering Herd to break that tie. And a game that was last played here a year ago, an 83-76 Old Dominion win. Well, now as we get to the keys to the game, brought to you by Checkered Flag, let's start with the Thundering Herd.
Well, if you're Marshall, they certainly, like everyone else, they average about 74 points a game. They want to knock down shots. Everybody that comes in this building and plays Old Dominion, they realize they have to rebound the basketball on both ends, and they have to limit their turnovers.
Well, Dominion, too, their keys, as you see, they're dictating tempo. Also want to get on the glass themselves, and I know you want to get off to a good start if you're ODU. That's been a problem lately, these slow starts.
Well, especially at home, but, up until the last few games, Old Dominion has been very successful at home, and they have to avoid those 2-minute, 3-minute lulls when nothing happens, they don't scoring the ball and not turning the other team over.
Well, as we get ready here, the lights are on. Of course, the snow has kept a lot of the fans away. Unfortunately, they had to move the women's game before this game back from an 11 o'clock start to a 2 o'clock start. Men went from a 7 o'clock start to a 5 o'clock start. But obviously, with the conditions out there, it's going to keep a lot of the fans away. But obviously, the ones that are here are pretty charged up to watch some Sun Belt basketball here tonight.
Well, nothing compares to, I'm going to date myself, going back to 1980 when we played UCLA in the first round in NCAA. It was like 24 inches of snow here in Norfolk.
Well, there's a lot of snow here, just kind of depending on which area you're in, but some areas got close to a foot. And the opening tip is controlled by the Thundering Herd. So we look at their starting lineup, brought to you by Cox Business. Duzane Mingo, also Michael Dawson, Abina and Achille Killen, Nate Martin, and Jalen Spear, the starting five for the Thundering Herd. And there's a three from Spear that's in and out. Ball's tipped out by Achille Killen in Old Dominion basketball. So the Monarchs starting five tonight. You'll see Robert Davis Jr., who is the team's leading scorer, along with Sean Duro-Gordon, Jaden Johnson, the freshman point guard, R.J. Blakeney, the fifth-year senior, and Cal Swanton-Roger, the big fella from Canada, who, of course, came here via the University of Maryland.
What's really interesting, you look at the matchups here, and you see who's guarding who, and size-wise, where the advantages are.
Shot off the mark from Duro-Gordon, pulls an early three, and both teams missing their first attempts from three. Around the screen, then Martin gets the bouncer taken away, so a turnover by the Thundering Herd pushed ahead. Duro-Gordon, now he's going to back it out. Cross-court pass to Blakeney, who feeds Cal Swanton-Roger, the big fella down low, but almost too far. Another look for Duro-Gordon from three. This one goes in and out, rebounded by Mingo.
Important case. Swanton-Rogers has a 6'6" guy guarding him. Swanton-Rogers, 7 foot. Old Dominion tried to go to him very early in that set, but didn't get anything out of it.
And there's a reach-in foul on the Monarchs as Dawson gets fouled. That's Sean Duragordon, certainly not the guy you want in foul trouble if you're Mike Jones. The 20 on the clock for the Thundering Herd. Martin gets it over to Dawson. Dawson around the screen. He's going to pull for a 2, and that's going to go. So first points of the game as Michael Dawson knocks him down, the transfer out of Akron.
Well, Marshall's not a big time shooting threes. That's not what they necessarily look for. They look for the mid-range shot.
There's Swant Roger with an easy 2. Good look from Robert Davis Jr. to find the big man for the throwdown.
On time.
Mingo dishes it into Martin. Martin's going to back down the smaller Johnson, and there's going to be a foul. See if they get Johnson on the reach. Or they're going to get Swant Roger. Yeah, Swant Roger.
Yeah, you don't want Swant Rogers early to get those fouls. You almost want Johnson to get them because he's very savvy defensively.
Yeah, you've seen Swant Roger getting some foul trouble early in games. And that is a turnover by Martin. Good defense by Swant Roger. That time he took away the baseline. It's a 2-2 ball game here.
Let's see how long it takes for Old Dominion to go back to that matchup. Swant and Rogers again. Big size difference there.
So both teams off to a little bit of an icy start in terms of offense. Robert Davis Jr. going to throw the lob. No, a little too much, and we're going to get a whistle. It's going to be a hold on Spear. So you said it, and they did it immediately, Billy. Went right back to that same play. Here's the lob, and Spear got him on the way up.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Robert Davis thought about it. Now he pulls it, and off the mark on the 2. Here comes Spear. He'll attack downhill sometimes. Thought about the 3. Now a little skip pass inside to Martin. Sends over to Mingo, who drives off the window, misses. And now pushing ahead Robert Davis Jr. for the Old Dominion offense. Swant Roger get it in too deep there, couldn't finish.
He didn't really do a good job of gathering his feet. He was kind of off balance. And I can understand him not wanting to bring it down and put it on the floor, but he still had opportunity to gather himself.
And Achille Killen with his first shot, and it goes. I was about to say, we haven't seen the big man who we said was the one to watch. He finally gets a look.
Old Dominion decided to go with R.J. Blakely on as 6'6" player, more of a wing player.
It's going to be an interesting matchup to watch, especially with Martin out there. There's R.J. Blakeney for 2, answering. So it's a mismatch on both ends, really.
It is, but R.J. has to lock in. At times, he's been terrific, and then times he just disappears.
Yeah, fifth-year senior, of course, been here 2 years now after transferring from Dayton. Easy 2 for Martin. As he lays it again to give the Thundering Herd the advantage. I see Donovan Raymond over at the table for the Monarchs. It'll be interesting to see who he comes in for. Is it going to be for Cal Swant Roger or for Blakeney? Duragordon, another look at 3, and this one also off the mark. So 0 for 3 for Duragordon, all 3s so far.
He had an opportunity to even take a dribble to step in, but the pass was there. That's setting some really hard picks out there.
Martin gets it taken away by Johnson. Now pushing it ahead, it's Robert Davis Jr. He's going to attack, kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson now drives, gets his shot blocked by Achille Killen, and he'll do that to you. Coming the other way for 3 is Spear. So big answer, big swing for the Thundering Herd with their largest lead of the game of 5.
He shot that on the fast break, Scott. He pulled up, no hesitation. It was a break, and he shot a 3-pointer.
And Achille Killen came into the game as 4th in the nation in block shots. He's got 78 on the year now. Johnson goes under his man, pulls up for the 2, and that's going to be in and out. Monarchs ice cold so far, just 2 of 9 from the floor.
Well, when the other part of it is after they shoot, none of Old Dominion's players are going to the basket to try to get the offensive rebound.
Spear behind the Martin screen. Drives, fade away in the lane, and that goes off the back iron. Old Dominion trying to end a drought here. Durgordon kicks it out to Johnson, swings it over to Blakeney, steps into a three, and that's going to be long. ODU in a 2+ minute scoring drought. Mingo up and under, can't finish. Johnson hands it off to Swant. Roger gets it taken away, but he gets his shot back. Gets it blocked from behind by Martin. And it's going to stay with Old Dominion, and that will get us to our first timeout. So a slow start for the Monarchs offense. They're 1 for 7 over the last 2.5 minutes. Make that 1 of 8. We'll get to a timeout. Marshall on top here. Sunbelt Basketball on ESPN+.
What are we doing today, Coach?
So, today we're going to work on our checking on...
Sorry, I heard checking.
A bit of a misunderstanding.
I meant checking on how we can help save our customers money on their car insurance.
And whether they need car, home, boat, or pet coverage.
Precisely. Now, let's go again. Susan?
Always wanted to do that.
My turn.
Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Best day of training so far.
How's your elbow?
It's killing me.
For people who feel limited by the unpredictability of generalized myasthenia gravis, season to season, Ultomiris is continuous symptom control with improvement in activities of daily living and reduced muscle weakness. And Ultomiris is the only long-acting GMG treatment with the freedom of just 6 to 7 infusions per year for a predictable routine I can count on.
Ultomiris may lower your immune system's ability to fight infections, increasing your chance of serious meningococcal and other infections which may become life-threatening or fatal. Complete or update meningococcal vaccines at least 2 weeks before you start. If treatment is urgent and you're not vaccinated, you should receive antibiotics with your vaccines. Don't start if you have a meningococcal infection. Infusion reactions may include back, belly, limb, or chest pain, muscle spasms, blood pressure changes, tiredness, shaking chills, bad taste, breathing problems, or face, tongue, or throat swelling. Ultomiris is continuous symptom control. Ask your neurologist about starting Ultomiris.
Back inside Chartway Arena, and in the huddle there, Cornelius Jackson, the man they call Corny Jackson, who is the first-year head coach here at Marshall, the Thundering Herd. He played for the Thundering Herd from 98 to 2001. Played 3 seasons, was the starting point guard, transferred to Marshall after originally committing to Tennessee. And Jackson, there you see him, much like Mike Jones, now being the head coach at his alma mater. He was hired last March as the head coach. 15-12 start to the season for the Thundering Herd, who had been playing really well prior to their last road trip, but lost 2 games at South Alabama and at Louisiana. And like the Monarchs here tonight, Billy, desperate to get a win and, you know, stay atop that first half and maybe even move up more in the Sun Belt standings before the tournament in a couple weeks.
Well, both teams match up pretty well, size-wise and skill-wise, so it's a matter of execution.
Jackson was the associate head coach as well on the staff last year. And in a tough bucket for Sean Durogordon as he gets his first 2 of the night.
Well, that's where normally he gets started. Once he gets started down inside, then he gets that rhythm, and that's that type of player he is.
So that's going to be a turnover. They're going to say tip by Old Dominion, so it'll stay with Marshall.
I was trying to help the official out. It went off the Marshall player.
He didn't believe you, apparently. Durogordon, again, with his first 2 of the game, he had started 0 for 3 all 3-point attempts. That was his first 2-point attempt. And into the game after that timeout came Caden Diggs for the Monarchs and also Donovan Raymond as Cal Swant Roger takes a seat. And there is a 3-ball off the back iron and in for Mingo. That's one way to do it. So Marshall with their largest lead now, 12-6. Davis Jr. with his first look at 3, and he drills it. Interesting lineup for Old Dominion, too, without Jaden Johnson on the floor. Billy will watch to see who the point is. Or Caden Diggs, who's just checked in, can bring it up now. He gives it over to Robert Davis Jr. He's feeling it. He's going to pull up another three, and he knocks that one down. Just like that, we get a tie game, a 6-0 run for the Monarchs off 2 threes from Robert Davis Jr.
Well, gave a nice ball fake to get himself open. The value of a ball fake is so important.
Transfer from UMass is heating up, and now that's a bucket from Chili Killen as he's got 4 points.
He's so tough. They have him listed as 6'8", but he's got really long arms.
Donovan Raymond's 2 goes in and out. Now pushing it ahead is Dawson. Back to Dawson from Mingo for 2. Good give and go from the Thundering Herd, who've now gone on a 4-0 run after the Monarchs had the 6-0 run. Diggs driving, freshman puts it up off the window, doesn't finish. Raymond can't finish. Duro Gordon picks it up and is fouled. Will go to the line for 2. So Duro Gordon doing what he does, getting on the offensive glass. He averages 3.5 a game, which is 6th nationally. We'll take a timeout. Got a good start, a little rhythm here after the first timeout here between ODU and Marshall.
We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is going to fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. The next greatest generation is now.
Being the car crash experts means knowing how to fight the big insurance companies about the cases that happen every day in our community.
Injury law is all that we do. We don't do anything else. We don't do anything but injury work, primarily car crashes.
We say no need to worry because that is the truth.
No need to worry. Call Cooper Hurley.
The car crash experts. 333-3333.
We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is going to fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. The next greatest generation is now.
Back inside Chartway Arena, Old Dominion basketball coach Mike Jones in his first year as the head coach here at his alma mater. Of course, a successful run as a high school coach at DeMatha Catholic up in the Washington, D.C. area. Was at the University of Maryland last year after 2 years on the Virginia Tech bench, as well as he transitioned into the college world. And, talking to Coach today, he just said tonight, Billy, he'd just like to see his team be locked in on their strengths and come out and do what they do best. And after a little bit of a slow start, he's got to be a little happier with the way they played after that last time out, at least on the offensive end. But, clearly some things to clean up defensively here in the early going.
Well, the observation earlier, as I mentioned, that Old Dominion would take him one shot. Nobody was going after the second shot opportunity. And that's what created now a free throw. That was 3 shots that time. Raymond would have had a stick back, but he tried to kill it. Tried to slam it home versus just catching it, tipping it in under control. So he'll learn that as he has more floor time.
And Duro Gordon buries both free throws. He'll take a seat. Raymond is also taking a seat. We've got in the game now for the Monarchs. I talked to Zegas has checked in, and Jaden Johnson's back in the game as well as Cal Swant Roger. So the Monarchs cut it to 2 with the free throws. Under 11 minutes here in this opening half. Thundering Herd shooting 58%. Mingo pump fakes. Now he kicks it out. Dawson gets the ball back. 7 on the clock, pulls the 3, and that's good from Dawson. Michael Dawson, who shoots 35% from there, and 66 of his shot attempts come from 3. He drills that one.
Well, the defender got caught underneath the screen rather than getting on top. And you college basketball, if you get caught underneath the screen a lot of times.
Swan Roger just throws it away. Coming the other way. Mingo, look out. Throws it down for two. Then a 7-point lead now for the Thundering Herd of the little 5-0 run. They made their last 3 field goals.
Yeah, but that turnover was incredible that Swanton Rogers would just give up on that one.
Zegas pump fakes, now drives. Cross-court pass to the open Diggs. Diggs now drives, throws it down. Caden Diggs in the lane for 2.
Unsuspecting. I didn't see that coming. He got the lane.
Yeah, Mike Jones says Caden Diggs is getting more and more confidence now with the extended playing time. And he's been trending in the right direction. That was a big play there for the Monarchs. Spear spinning, loses it, but Martin picks it up. Now Mingo going left, driving off the glass. Oh, in and out. Couldn't finish. Davis pulls up for 3, gets fouled, and the shot's not going to go. Let's see if they say he was at the line or is he shooting 3. It looked like he was beyond the arc. Yeah, 3-shot foul.
Well, Davis just felt like defensively, his defender was just out of position and feeling that. He just said, I'm going to pull it. If you watch it here, the defender was coming from behind him. Once he left his feet, he felt like he was going to get fouled.
And Davis, who comes into the night shooting 85% from the free throw line, first in the Sun Belt, 4th nationally as well, so knocks that one down. Second one good as well. Davis with a chance to cut it to a 2-point game.
He's the example of what we always talk about. He can turn a 16-point night into a 23-point night hitting his free throws.
And Davis now has 9, 3 from the free throw line and 2 threes. And it's a 2-point game, so Monarchs just like that back in it after Marshall had got a little separation. Martin with Diggs on him. Over to Dawson. Dawson off the screen. Step back 3 in the corner is going to be off the mark. Popcorn around, and Martin gets the offensive board for the Thundering Herd, and he's going to go back up off the window for 2. So Nate Martin, who averages just under 9 rebounds a game, pulls a big one down. Blakeney back to Davis with Fricks on him. Caden Diggs going to pull the trigger to 3, and that's going to be off. Martin pump fakes, now drives, attacking Raymond, and that's going to be short. Ball fought for, though. Fricks tips it back to Martin. Good hustle by the Thundering Herd. Get a second chance here.
Yeah, that was just a rebound the Monarchs didn't want.
Ball stripped away there now. Raymond wants that ball, and he gets on the floor. And it's going to be possession arrow to Old Dominion. So good hustle by Donovan Raymond. Old Dominion will have the ball after the timeout on the floor. 7:51 to go in the opening half. We got a good one here. Sunbelt basketball. You're watching it here on ESPN+.
Decades of truck building know-how. A legacy of industry-leading technology, innovation, and capability. This is what goes into every Ford F-Series we sell. But what goes into it is one thing. What you're gonna get out of it, that's what really matters. Now get a 2024 F-150, the #1 truck brand 48 years running with $6 grand in total savings.
All right, trainees, let's say Glenn is a customer.
I'm the customer in this scenario.
What do we do?
Protect what's important to him.
And how do we do this?
We help with car, home,
Both.
RV coverage.
Great, apply coverages. Because you never know what life is going to surprise you with at 90 miles per hour.
Did Coach say 90?
Push him out there.
You've got this, Glenn.
Am I gonna feel this? I felt that.
Is he okay?
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
Oh, he's moving. morning. I want to engage the team.
I want us to think really big on this one, guys.
I want to close this deal. I love it.
Right?
What? Perfect right there.
Right?
I'm obsessed.
You got it, yes, yes.
Love your work.
Thank you.
Yes, I love that.
For all those making it big out there, shouldn't your mobile service be able to keep up with you?
Hello, everyone.
Get Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig at home and on the go. Introducing Power Boost, only from Xfinity Mobile. Now that's big. Xfinity Internet customers, cut your mobile bill in half versus T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T for your first year. Plus, ask how to get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus on us.
Back inside Chartway Arena, as Old Dominion and Marshall both got off to a little slow start, but then finally things started heating up offensively. There's a Cal Swanton Roger throwdown for Old Dominion. And there's a Obita and a Chili Killer block shot that leads to the run out and the three from Spear as he drills that. And then Robert Davis Jr. went on a run of his own, hit a three ball there. And then here is the freshman Caden Diggs with a thunderous throwdown in traffic for ODU. And it's a 4-point game. Thundering Herd on top, 23-19. Scott Jackson and Billy Mann here with you. Thanks for joining us tonight. You couldn't get out to Chartway because of the roads, we understand. Thanks for joining us here on ESPN+. Sean Durogordon, two-pointer on the lane, no good. Tipped away and picked up by Dawson. Michael Dawson.
Simply put, Old Dominion's got to pass the ball more. They move the ball. They only have 4 assists to Marshall's 7.
Dawson 3 is deep, rebounded by Donovan Raymond. Jaden Johnson driving and gets some contact there. What's the call? No foul call, just last touch by the Thundering Herd.
But I will point out, Old Dominion only has 1 turnover in the half thus far. Marshall has 4.
So Swanton Roger checks back in for Raymond. So it's Davis Jr., Durgordon, Swanton Roger, Johnson, and Blakeney for Old Dominion. The starting 5 back out on the floor. Turnover by ODU. Dezane Mingo thought about going left side. He hands it off to Kai Spears. Mingo now gets to his right. Up and under, shot blocked. They're going to say a goaltend as Swanton Roger pins it. So Thundering Herds lead back to 6. ODU on another one of these scoring droughts, 2.5 minutes plus now.
Marshall uses a lot of screens at the top of the key. And they make you have to make a decision. Are you going to switch it? Or are you going to have your big guy hedge it? But they put the pressure on you.
Durgordon with Gibbs on him, gets it up, shots blocked, and a Chili Killen pulled down the rebound.
Looked like a lot of contact there. But that's been typical of Sun Belt basketball. They let you play.
Mingo with Johnson on him through the screen of Martin. Martin's going to fake a 3. Thought about it. Mingo's going to have to put it up late in the shot clock, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. It doesn't hit the rim. So Old Dominion digs in defensively that time. It gets a stop.
Well, as the clock was running out, the Marshall player tried to do everything he could. He tried to pump fake, even leaned into the defender, but Old Dominion wouldn't bite.
Yeah, Mingo, who is a transfer from a college in Ontario, has really been good for this Marshall team this year, averaging 11.5 points to go along with 5 rebounds. Martin up and off the window for 2. And Marshall's extended their lead to 8. Largest of the game.
Davis Jr. tried to make a home run pass Swanton Rogers wasn't a bad pass. It just wasn't needed at that time. The pass at that time wasn't needed.
So Blakeney's going to draw a foul. And R.J. Blakeney will get to the free throw line. ODU's trying to end this 6-0 Marshall run. ODU just won for their last 7.
Nice move by R.J. Blakeney that time. Started right, went over to his left, which is weak hand, but the move was great.
So RJ, 56% of the season from the free throw line, knocks down the first. And Robert Davis Jr. is going to take a seat as Caden Diggs comes back in for Old Dominion. And Blakeney cannot convert the second.
Someone's got to step up for Old Dominion offensively now that their 16 points a game is on the bench.
And Achille Killam with Swanton Rogers on him. He's going to back him down. Pumps, fade away, nothing but net. He is so smooth in that post.
Pretty efficient too, huh? A couple dribbles, gives you the shoulder, gets you off your balance, and then pulls up.
So Marshall with their largest lead of 9 now, 29-20. Swan Roger trying to post up on it. NHL Killen, and Blakeney just tried to get it off the window. Not even close. Thrown ahead to Gibbs. Now NHL Killen kicks it out. There's Mingo for 3, and that's going to go. Duzane Mingo has got Marshall to a 12-point lead, their largest of the game, as Old Dominion's now on a 5-minute, 41-second field goal drought, and it's an 11-1 Marshall run over the last 4.5 as the Thundering Herd are off and running with 4:07 to go in this opening half. You're watching college basketball here on ESPN+.
To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Want to buy your new home with confidence? Howard Hanna has the answer. With our exclusive money-back guarantee, we'll stand behind 100% of your purchase price, giving you the confidence needed to make your best offer. If you are not 100% satisfied after moving in, we'll buy your home back for the full value you paid. No questions asked. At Howard Hanna, we've got the answers that take the worry out of real estate. Contact us today and let's start shopping for your dream home.
Not everyone can seamlessly connect in real time. Complete a speedy, secure sign-up. Or tackle a midday save. But you have what it takes. And at Cox Business, we have what IT takes.
To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Back inside Chartway Arena, Michael Dawson has been a force tonight for the Thundering Herd as he hits the 2 there. Then he gets the ball back to lay it up for another 2. Dawson then shows off his range, drills the 3. He's got 9 points, the 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal to lead the way so far for the Thundering Herd, who have now opened up their largest lead of the game of 12, 32-20. ODU right now in a midst of a 5-minute, 41-second scoring drought, while Marshall's on an 11-1 run.
Well, one of the things that piqued my interest about Marshall was the fact when you look at their player stats, they have about 3 main guys that score double figures, and that just says any one of them are capable.
Well, they're starting 5, all but one of them averages double figures, and the guy that doesn't is Nate Martin, and he averages 9.8 points a game, so he's close to double figures as you can get. There's almost a turnover by ODU, but Davis is able to track it down. He's got to hurry, though. There's only 6 on the clock, 5. And he's driving up and under. No, can't finish, and last touch by Marshall. So Old Dominion will get a second look here with 20 on the shot clock. Jaden Johnson throws the lob to the out of bounds.
Jaden, you got to shoot that one. I mean, I appreciate the effort, but he's from 15 feet. You got to take that one.
What is looking for Swanton Roger, but he threw it behind him. That's not gonna work. So Old Dominion in all kind of a rut right now offensively. And a Chili Killen. He don't miss from there, does he? And he had the mismatch with Johnson, and he went right at him. So Marshall continues to climb this largest lead of 14.
And now 6'1", Johnson, he's a stud. He's strong. So he's going to make a big shoot that turnaround shot. It's not that easy.
Well, that's Anna Chili Killen's go-to. Caden Diggs back to Swanton Roger. There's only 6 on the clock. ODU's got to hurry. Davis gets it off in time and good. Robert Davis Jr., a big-time three needed there for the Monarchs.
I thought he got hit down here on that one.
So Robert Davis Jr. now with 12, cuts it to an 11-point game. Boy, Mingo, when he wants to get to that left, it seems like he can do it. Downhill and for the 2, so Mingo, he's now in double digits with 10 to go along with his 5 rebounds.
He drives hard with his left, and then he hits you with the inside with the right hand.
Davis Jr., another 3. This one's off. Old Dominion unable to secure the rebound. Here comes Thundering Herd way ahead. Martin's by himself, and he's going to miss the layup, and then he and Anna Chili Killen run into each other. They're going to call a foul on Old Dominion. Interesting. Looked like Anna Chili Killen was the man who made the contact with Martin.
I'd like to see that one again because judging that.
So you got Johnson here, Swanton Rogers here, and
yeah, that was his own man.
Interesting. That was on Swanton Rogers, so now he's got 2 for the Monarchs. And Andrew Chili Killen getting the post again. He is unstoppable down there. Every time he's got somebody 6'7" and below, he's going right at him. Good recognition by the Thundering Herd offense. And Anna Chili Killen now has 10. Duro Gordon up and 1. So Sean Duragor with a chance for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
You know, it was very interesting. The officials came over, and that wasn't even a lot of contact, right? It was definitely a foul. Defender stuck his hand in the cookie jar. But it's very interesting. There was a play that happened 8 minutes ago. The officials were looking at a possible goaltend.
Well, they just confirmed that it was a goaltend on Swanton Roger earlier. Yeah, it's this new thing you can do in college basketball. You have to wait until the timeout to go back and review it. But I think it causes some major problems, especially if you were to overturn it, right? Then it changes sometimes the flow of a game. I mean, luckily we're early enough, it really didn't matter. And that's a turnover by Marshall.
But I guess my whole point was, just like the foul they called against Old Dominion, which was clearly the Marshall player fouling his own teammate, I'd rather review something like that.
Yeah, what they don't want to do is they don't want to become football where they're stopping play. But I just don't know how, when you're multiple possessions past the play, how you can go back. It doesn't add up to me. He's making a lot of sense. But, you know, we'll see if it is here to stay or not. Robert Davis Jr. loses the ball, gets it into Duro Gordon. Duro Gordon fighting for it. Can't get anything off. Here comes Anna Chili Killen. He can handle the ball, too. Mingo back to Martin. Martin instead drives into traffic and gets fouled. They're daring him to shoot that 3. He won't do it. Instead, he drives in traffic and gets a contact.
Foul is charged to the Monarchs number 4, Robert Davis Jr., his first, team's 4th.
So Robert Davis Jr.
with 2 shots.
Gets hit with the foul.
Did I miss? I mean, where did he foul him? I mean, based upon what they have been calling or not been calling.
So Martin, a 55% free throw shooter, misses the first with 37.9 to go in this opening half. Marshall has led by as many as 14 and now by 13. Marshall's shooting 63% from the floor. I think defense will be a topic of conversation in the Old Dominion locker room. Meanwhile, Old Dominion shooting under 30%. Johnson with a good look there and misses, and Courtney Jackson's beside himself as he's running down the baseline. He didn't think it was a foul.
Well, of course not. When you've been getting all the calls, you're like, oh my gosh, we didn't foul.
So that was, again, Johnson going to his left here.
Jake Johnson with 2 shots.
And he's right.
Didn't look like much, did it? No. So Jaden Johnson, a 72% free throw shooter, misses the first. It might be a, as they say, the ball don't lie situation with 25.4 to go.
Well, clearly, when you're shooting 63%, makes a difference. I mean, you don't have to rebound the basketball, especially when you're scoring at that higher percentage.
Oh boy, 2 misses from Johnson, and now Marshall, if they want it, can take the last shot of this half to extend this 13-point lead. Just everything going wrong for the Monarchs here at the latter part of this half. The wheels are coming off. So Mingo dribbling the clock down, getting the screen. Martin now, nice bounce pass, and there's a late whistle, and that's going to be a foul as Gibbs draws the contact. Jacob Gibbs going to the line.
Number 8, Donovan Raymond is first.
As Raymond picks up the foul.
And Mike Jones is making his case.
They got him in the head. Pretty good.
And I guess the whole point that Mike is saying, okay, at least make it consistent. What happens on this end has to happen on the other end as well. And I thought it was a foul.
So Gibbs 80% from the free throw line, hits them both. 3-pointer at the buzzer and off the mark. So Marshall will take a 15-point lead into the half as they shoot it 63% from the floor in the opening half to open up a large lead here on Old Dominion. We'll take a timeout, come back with highlights and stats. You're watching college basketball on ESPN+.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, proceeds from the lottery have helped keep our state parks serene and majestic. Proceeds have helped fund education, supporting our school systems, and empowering high school graduates with promise scholarships. Proceeds also provide care for our seniors, enriching lives and communities. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins.
Whoa. Okay, it's Eli Manning, and this is a new Easy Squeeze bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch. It's so precise and easy to use, I was able to autograph this. Pick up a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch Easy Squeeze and make every pizza your signature pizza.
From the moment you arrive, to placing your decoys, to setting up your spot, to calling in the time of a lifetime. Midway USA has just about everything you need for that one moment.
We took our fan favorite Little Caesars Crazy Puffs and made them even better with bacon. They'll make you say, whoa, crispy applewood smoked bacon. Whoa, delicious cheddar cheese sauce. Whoa, there's 4 of them. Whoa, only $3.99. Whoa.
They look delicious in slow motion.
The new bacon and cheese Crazy Puffs for only $3.99 at Little Caesars. They taste like whoa.
Pizza.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Whoa!
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
It is March Madness, baby.
Let's go. This is just spectacular.
There's nothing stopping them right now.
The celebration is on.
March Madness begins March 19th.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn.
Which attracted golfers.
Morning.
Who needs a warm-up?
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
Y'all make sure y'all get 3 for $5 because they ain't advertising it, honey.
Oh, we're advertising it. Get 3 pieces of our crispy, juicy signature chicken for just $5. How's that?
Let's go to Popeyes.
It's the return of women's college hoops.
Oh, my!
With the game's brightest stars. Must-see matchups and off-the-charts hype. All season long on the networks of ESPN.
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the semis.
You gotta be kidding me! It's not real!
Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Wow!
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
It is March Madness, baby.
Let's go. This is just spectacular.
There's nothing stopping them right now.
The celebration is on.
March Madness begins March 19th.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Y'all make sure y'all get 3 for $5 because they ain't advertising it, honey.
Oh, we're advertising it. Get 3 pieces of our crispy, juicy signature chicken for just $5. How's that?
Let's go to Popeyes.
What are we doing today, Coach?
So, today, we're going to work on our checking on...
Oh. Sorry, I heard checking.
A bit of a misunderstanding.
I meant checking on how we can help save our customers money on their car insurance.
And whether they need car, home, boat, or pet coverage.
Precisely. Now, let's go again. Susan?
Always wanted to do that.
My turn.
Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Best day of training so far.
How's your elbow?
It's killing me.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones, like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes, and 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
Listen up, hockey fans. NHL on ESPN Plus is back. The hardest hits, the dangles, and of course, the sellies.
You've got to be kidding me! It's not real!
Enjoy every second of 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
I take the first shot, you keep it coming. We know a lot about turning nothing to something.
He is must-see television every time he puts that uniform on.
College basketball, it never disappoints. How fun is this?
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
It is March Madness, baby.
Let's go. This is just spectacular.
There's nothing stopping them right now.
The celebration is on.
March Madness begins March 19th.
Back inside Chartway Arena, Marshall has matched their largest lead of the night with 15 at the break. As we look at the Sun Belt standings with these final couple weeks of the season ahead, you see Marshall there in the 6th spot at 8-6. Georgia State, who will be in here on Saturday, taking on the Monarchs, right there at 7-7. And that's where Old Dominion is. That's why this game and the next game are very important for the Monarchs in terms of the standings. You look at this top half. Not a lot separating those teams there in the middle. As you see, there's Old Dominion, and then right behind him, you've got Texas State and Georgia Southern and University of Louisiana right on your heels. So you can't really afford to lose these games, especially the home ones. So that's how the standings look right now. And there is, again, a lot of benefit the higher up you are this year, Billy, with the way they're doing the tournament bracketing.
Well, it's the perfect time of year to make a run.
No question. Let's get to the highlights from this opening half here, and there's a lot of Marshall highlights in this package. They shot 63% from the floor, and you see there the 2 from Dawson. Cal Swan Roger, that was the best look he got all night for his only 2 of the game. RJ Blakeney with the J there. Blakeney's been pretty quiet outside of that bucket. And then you see a lot of work from Martin in the first half. Nate Martin done some good work. Sean Durogordon for Old Dominion on the inside. And this man right here, Mingo, Dezane Mingo, has been strong. And of course, Anu Chile Killen, Avina Anu Chile Killen was our one to watch tonight. He's pretty deadly with that fadeaway.
Well, he's just so efficient. He doesn't take a lot of shots, but the shots he takes, he makes.
Old Dominion spark was this guy, Robert Davis Jr., who has 3 threes for Old Dominion. And Sean Durogordon, need to get him going in the second half if you're going to make a run if you're the Monarchs. And, of course, defensively, you got to tighten some things up. We'll get to some of the keys coming up as we continue here from Chartway Arena. You're watching college basketball on ESPN+.
Women's college hoops all season long on the networks of ESPN.
Back inside Chartway Arena, we're at the half. Marshall leads Old Dominion by the score of 41-26. So we get some of these first half numbers. Look at that, Billy. 17 of 27 for Marshall, good for 63% in the opening half. Old Dominion, on the other hand, an ice cold 8 of 27, just slightly under 30% from the floor. Not much of a difference in the three-point shooting, but obviously look at the big rebounding advantage that Marshall has, and obviously the assists to turnovers compared to the Monarchs' assists to turnovers.
Well, they've been one and done for Old Dominion. It has not been Marshall's second chance opportunities. They've just been making buckets and limiting Old Dominion to just one and done.
So that's what some of the opening numbers look like. We'll look at some of the hustle stats here. As again, Old Dominion just 4 offensive rebounds in the opening half. And again, the big rebounding advantage for Marshall, the defensive side. Points in the paint, a big plus for Marshall there. Points off turnover, a big advantage for Marshall as well. Not really much there in the fast break points either way, or from the bench. But the 3 blocks also pretty significant for Marshall, as the big man Obina and Annie Chillikillen has been a factor down there in the post defensively.
Well, as I talked about with the matchups, you know, it's just about efficiency and you running your stuff and getting it done. And that's all the difference has been with Marshall. We should point out, you know, Old Dominion's missing one of their key players, but when you go back to the keys, Marshall wanted to knock down shots, 63%, rebound the basketball. They're doing that. Limiting turnovers, they've done that with only 6. Old Dominion dictate the pace. They have not been able to do that. Match the physicality. That has not happened. And avoid lulls. They haven't done that. So Old Dominion, right now, they got to go to a D, really.
Yeah, they've got to get it together here in a hurry. And, you know, they're playing a little short-handed. You know, they certainly had to make some changes here as the season going along with Steph Walker out after the surgery. Now a few games into that, and you can really see where they have missed him.
Yeah, he brought so many great intangibles.
Right.
To
most
the team.
communicative player defensively for them too. And you've seen a lot of breakdowns defensively, but they've got to play on with what they have and see if they can chip away at this game. I mean, Marshall will give you chances. They'll give you some openings here. There's the lob pass to Annie Chillikillen. He is having a night with 12.
He's the player you got to keep a body on him.
Blakeney had a look at 3, pump fakes, and he takes it inside. Now he goes up and under for 2. Well played by RJ. He thought he got fouled. He's asking the official what happened there.
He did get hit.
When he got the big man off his feet, got under him. So it's a 15-point lead still, making a 17-point lead as Anna Chillikillen is just running wild.
As I said, if you don't keep a body connected to him, he's pretty tough.
Duro Gordon spinning off the window for 2. So Old Dominion 2 good looks offensively. The question is, can they get some stops and cool off this red-hot Marshall team that's shooting 65% right now?
That's exactly right, because I don't remember. They've scored their first 2 possessions down the floor. Is that 3 possessions?
Dawson for 3, and that's going to be off. Run down by Swanton Roger. So Old Dominion with a chance to chip away a little bit. Robert Davis gets it poked from behind, and there'll be a reach-in foul on Dawson. Michael Dawson gets hit for his first foul of the game.
I believe that, I mean, Marshall will foul, but you have to take care of the basketball. You have to go strong, and you have to make the pass crisp.
Tough shot for Johnson, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
Point in the case.
Marshall foul charged at number 50, Jalen.
So you have to go in there anticipating the hit. Be strong with the basketball.
So Jaden Johnson to the line where he's 0 for 2 tonight. Came into the game at 72% of the season. Freshman misses again.
That doesn't help your case. Got to hit the free throws.
And Johnson's been steady at the line. It's actually been really good in conference play. And this second offering is good. So splits the pair, cuts it down to 14. 45-31, Thundering Herd on top.
It's
Here at Chartway Arena.
2-3. They started out in a 2-3.
Mingo picked up his dribble earlier, but Dawson helps him out. Now 12 on the clock. And they're going to call a foul on Jaden Johnson. 8 seconds of the shot clock.
Number 10, Jaden Johnson, that's his first. Team's first.
That was Johnson's first foul. But that'll give a refresh 20 seconds on the shot clock now for Marshall. Turnaround for Martin, in and out. Rebound by Johnson in the crowd. Davis pulls up and gets a foul, but we'll go to the line for two. Almost a chance to knock that one down for a three-point play.
Number 3 to Zane Mingo, his second. Team's third.
So that's on Mingo, his second. We mentioned, again, Marshall, a foul-prone team. And now you're seeing some of that rack up here in the early part of this second half, excuse me.
Well, I think Old Dominion's opportunity becomes at the free throw line. But if they're going to be aggressive and continue to take the basketball to the basket, they seem to have a little more success.
Yeah, in terms of teams nationally, they're 339th are the Thundering Herd in terms of fouling per game. Just under 20 a game. So Old Dominion getting into the scout now here in the second half. The early part of it is they get another stop, chance to cut it to 10 or maybe even single digits with a three. Johnson knocks it down. 10-point game now with just under 17 minutes to go in regulation.
Need another stop. That was a foul there.
Mingo throws it away. Duro Gordon has it. Ahead to Davis, back to Duro Gordon, misses it, but cleaned up by Blakeney, and it's a single-digit game as Old Dominion's cut it to 8. This crowd is now starting to wake up here as well as we get a timeout from the Thundering Herd. So Old Dominion answering the bell here with a 9-0 run over the last 2+ minutes. And Marshall suddenly in a 2.5-minute scoring drought as we take another look at the fast break and the finish from R.J. Blakeney. You're watching Sunbelt Basketball here on ESPN+.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn,
which attracted golfers.
Morning. Who needs a warm-up?
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
Own a design studio. Win a really big design contract. Realize you're more of a creative type than a finance type. Realize you got this. Use QuickBooks to get your cash flow flowing. Get live expert assistance to maximize your tax savings.
I can help with that.
Get back to doing what you love. Manage and grow your business all in one place. Intuit QuickBooks, your way to money.
In the furniture business, things move fast.
ZipRecruiter helps us hire qualified candidates who can keep up.
We needed a project manager yesterday.
We posted a job on ZipRecruiter and had our guy on site in 5 days.
He was qualified in every way.
ZipRecruiter finds the best candidates for all our jobs.
They helped us build our dream team, and they did it fast. Is that too fast for you?
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/TV.
It's the return of women's college hoops. Ready to run it back?
Are you kidding me?
With the game's brightest stars.
She is going to put on a show tonight.
Must-see matchups and off-the-charts hype.
This is what we came to see. Let's go!
All season long on the networks of ESPN.
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Good looking shot on the campus of Old Dominion. A lot of snow on the ground. Kids had a day off today. Of course, you can see they did a good job clearing the sidewalk, so it's good for walking. Roads have been very clear too on the main roads. Back inside Chartway Arena where it's much warmer, and the home team is heating up. Scott Jackson and Billy Mann here with the Old Dominion was down by as many as 17, but have cut it to an 8-point game with 16:30 to go here in regulation. Now trap here by the Monarchs. Get it away.
Good defensive call by Old Dominion that time.
Down to the Marshall timeout, trying to get a bucket. They are on a 2.5+ minute scoring drought, and now that's going to be a foul on Martin. So the big man, Nate Martin, picks up the foul. It's his second.
Marshall not ready or anticipated the double team. That time was a blitz and a double team on the Marshall offensive player.
So Old Dominion with a chance to really cut into this deficit here on this possession. They've come out 4 of 5 to start the half after shooting just 29% in the opening half. And suddenly the Thundering Herd are the ones that are comfortable. Johnson trying to make St. Muhammad happen. Gets it out to Blakeney, gets his man up and under, and he'll get fouled.
Nice goal, nice move.
RJ able to get his man off his feet. That'll get us to a timeout on the floor as well with 15:49 to go here in regulation. We got ourselves a ball game as Old Dominion has chipped away at this big Marshall lead. You're watching college basketball on ESPN+.
Beyond Zero is Toyota's vision to reach beyond carbon neutrality with our products, services, and operations. Today, we empower you to choose how to reduce your own carbon footprint. With an electrified, diversified lineup of hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and battery EVs. Let's drive toward a carbon-neutral future together. Toyota, let's go places.
Someone like you never stops learning. ODU Global allows you to dive deeper into your passions so you can gain the skills you need to take on your next challenge. Come find out how ODU Global is the right fit for you today.
You're no stranger to success, and now you're ready for more. ODU Global gives you access to the courses you need to take your career to the next level. Right now is a great time to get started on your next degree.
Retirement looks and sounds a whole lot different at Atlantic Shores. The life you'll love is right here in the heart of Virginia Beach. Rent or buy, the choice, the freedom, and the fun are yours at Atlantic Shores.
Style in sports, it's a 1-2 punch. Originality, that's style.
Today we're going to be helping style some high schoolers.
We're about to get some style in there with some student athletes. We're going to take these kids to the next level.
This is fire.
You know what I mean? Something different.
Some swag.
Get it.
Under Armour we here, man.
Style is all about a representation of yourself.
If you look good, you feel good, you play good, it goes all in one.
Back inside Chartway Arena, our one to watch tonight for the Thundering Herd was Obina Anichukillen, and he has been as good as advertised here tonight. 14 points on 7 of 7 shooting, Billy. 2 block shots and 4 rebounds. He came into the game as one of the top shot blockers in the country. Actually number 4 in the country, and he's added 2 more this evening.
A really good player. What's amazing about that, as good a player he is, the way he plays, he doesn't have any free throws tonight.
Yeah, he's not been to the line yet, and for the Monarchs, RJ Blakeney unable to take advantage of getting to the line as he misses his first. ODU was down by as many as 17, and now they've cut it to a 7-point game with 15:49 to go. ODU now in a 10-0 run, while Marshall has not scored in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Then go with the baseline cut off from him by Jaden Johnson. Spear now going to his left. Finds a wide open Martin who flushes it down. Just a breakdown by the ODU defense in the last part of the shot clock.
Yeah, and that was just clearly a breakdown. Nice offensive play by Marshall. Missed the big guy that time.
Yeah, that ball is kicked, and they're going to say kicked by Robert Davis Jr., so turnover by Old Dominion. So out of this timeout, Marshall with a little bit of juice.
I'm sorry, I'm Swanton Rogers is who I was talking about. He dove down the middle of the lane. He was wide open, and Old Dominion couldn't get the ball.
Stole away by the Monarchs. Davis for three, wide open look, can't get it to go. They're going to say push foul on Martin underneath the basket. So that's foul number 3 on Nate Martin, who's a really big part of this Marshall attack. Played 22 minutes so far tonight. He's going to have to take a seat.
Okay, this is the coach in me. You watch this play, watch the steal, and look, there's no one in front of him. You take the basketball to the basket. You don't stand there and take us 3. I'm sorry, guys.
It's the new age.
It drives me crazy.
Actually, Martin's going to stay in the game. Mingo's going to take the seat, but Martin, again, just double check it here. Yeah, 3 fouls. So that might be something Old Dominion looks to exploit. Here's Duro Gordon. Turning around, getting his man up, gets his shot blocked by Anachili Killen. So good defense there by the Thundering Herd. Dawson leaves it off for Martin. Back to Dawson now. Spear will reset. And they're going to get a foul. It's going to be on Blakeney. He was kind of holding on to Spear, got around the corner on him.
Well, those screens that Marshall sets, I mean, it's not the intent. It's to make you make contact.
Martin now backing down. Blakeney who pulls the chair out from under him. They're going to get RJ, though, for the foul. And that's going to be number 2 on RJ. Suddenly he's racking up fouls in Old Dominion now. That's team foul number 3. Marshall, by the way, have 16 fouls. The next Marshall foul will have Old Dominion in the bonus.
And this is a
wide open look for Anabini Killen, and he can't get it to go.
Hey, basketball is a very difficult game to officiate. So let's go get it twisted.
Anachili Killen throws this one away. I think it's a tip. No, tip by the Monarchs. So 11 seconds of the shot clock for Marshall with 14:04 to go here in regulation.
And
Fans
I was about
here
to
hate
say,
that call.
Players can have bad games, and so can officials. I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, it's a tough game.
8 on the clock. Spear now going to have to make something happen. Pulls up for 3, and that's in and out. Rebounded by Swanton Roger, who now has it tied up. No, they say play on.
The officials got to get a hold of this one.
Davis drives for 2, and ODU has cut it back to a 7-point game.
And once they get a hold of it, just be consistent.
And that ball's tipped away by the Old Dominion Monarchs, and they keep it. So ODU with a chance to cut into this deficit a little bit more. Robert Davis Jr. deep 3, and that's going to be long. Rebounded by Marshall.
That's early in the shot clock. Big guy dives to the middle. I think you pass that one and get it back for a better shot.
Killen's going to shoot the 3 for the corner, and it goes! They gave him too much space. And Achille Killen hits his first 3 of the night. He's got 17, and Marshall back up to a 10-point advantage.
Scout report says he will take the 3.
Davis drives for 2. There's Robert Davis Jr. with a high percentage shot. He's got 18, and it's back to a single-digit deficit. Killen now drives it, throws the lob pass, and up and good from Jacob Gibbs.
That's a smart basketball. I mean, that's all it is. I didn't know he was going to do that. I thought he was going to go for the dunk.
Big man's showing some versatility. Jaden Johnson out in the corner, 3 for R.J. Blakeney, and that's going to be off. And it is rebounded by Marshall. Old Dominion players thought the player was out of bounds. ODU bench was up, pointing.
You tell the intensity's picking up here.
Spear now getting to his left. Wide open look, and a chilly kill for 3, and that's going to be off the mark. And we got players hitting the deck, and that's going to be a foul on Marshall. Or excuse me, on R.J. Blakeney. So that's 3 on Blakeney as we go to break. 11:51 to go here, regulation. Marshall with a 10-point lead. You're watching college basketball on ESPN+.
Feeling backed up and bloated? Good thing Metamucil Fiber Plus Probiotics Gummies work harder for your digestive system. With fiber to help promote gut health and probiotics to help relieve occasional bloating so you can feel your best. Metamucil Fiber Plus Probiotics Gummies.
In the furniture business, things move fast.
ZipRecruiter helps us hire qualified candidates who can keep up.
We needed a project manager yesterday.
We posted a job on ZipRecruiter and had our guy on site in 5 days.
He was qualified in every way.
ZipRecruiter finds the best candidates for all our jobs.
They helped us build our dream team, and they did it fast. Was that too fast for you?
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/TV.
Love will keep us together. Now for something you can both agree on. A Sleep Number smart bed is perfect for couples. The Climate 360 smart bed is the only bed that cools and warms on each side. And all our smart beds adjust the firmness for each of you. Let's agree to agree on better sleep. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed plus 0% interest for 48 months. Shop now.
USAA for the military community and their families.
Cut. Sam, I really need to feel that USAA service. Gronkier.
Grunkier. USAA. You could be eligible if your spouse, parent, or even your grandparents served.
That was it. You're in.
As a veteran, I'm already in. You? I wouldn't get your hopes up, son. USAA. Are you eligible?
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Back here at Chartway Arena as we look at some of the highlights here of this second half. Robert Davis Jr. getting it to the rim there for 2. Again, more from Davis, this time going to his left hand and finishing with the right for 2. And then it was Obina adding Chili Killen with a 3-pointer from the corner. The officials did look at that during the timeout and confirmed it, and then he was throwing the lob to Gibbs. And the man we said was the one to watch tonight certainly has been for the Thundering Herd. So out of the timeout, Marshall with the 10-point lead. Spear for 3, and that's going to go. And all of a sudden, Old Dominion, all the work they've done to cut the lead down to 10, it's back up to a 13-point lead for the Marshall Thundering Herd.
It's the quick ball movement for Marshall.
Davis gets his shot blocked by Anagili Killen, who's got 3 on the night. Now ahead to Killen. Nice pass. Good ball movement. Spear for another 3, and that's not going to go. But the throwdown from Wyatt Fricks off the bench.
He just walked into that one.
Wyatt Fricks with the big slam. And it's back to 15, so all the hard work Old Dominion did headed down to as few as 7. And Durogordon stops the bleeding as Marshall was on a 7-0 run before that.
Right now, Marshall's just laying it out there. I mean, they're playing harder. Old Dominion has not been able to answer.
Well, you can see why they're the second best team in this conference in terms of offense, averaging almost 76 points a game. A lot of good ball movement. They've got multiple players that can attack you and knock down shots. They space the 4 well. So right now for Marshall, it's Jacob Gibbs inbounding it. He's out there with Chili Killen, also Spear, Dawson, and Fricks on the floor for the Thundering Herd. Killen and one, and a Chili Killen is doing that to the Monarchs as he now has 19 and a chance for a three-point play.
No answer for him. I mean, they've elected to keep the big up. And so when he rolls, you know, there's not another big guy or anybody stopping him from getting it deeper, gets in the middle of the lane.
So Marshall, after they saw their lead whittled down to 7, have now put the foot on the gas and are back to a 16-point lead. And they can get Spear for holding Robert Davis Jr. And that's foul number 7. So Old Dominion going to get to the free throw line, shooting the rest of the way tonight. So Robert Davis Jr., who leads the Monarchs with 18, can try to chip away at this deficit from the free throw line with the clock stopped.
Robert Davis Jr. with a 1-and-1.
So 1-and-1 for Davis. Oh, and he misses. Big miss from an 85% free throw shooter. Those will hurt you. Good ball movement to Dawson for 3, and that's going to be long. Run down by Durogordon for the Monarchs. Almost fell out of bounds. Pass ahead to Blakeney. Blakeney attacking up high. Whoa. For 2. He hung in the air.
Oh, my goodness.
RJ with 10 points now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You see him sometimes, and you're like, where did that come from? That was incredible.
That was. Yeah, way too easy for Dawson getting to his left. Old Dominion's defense is really struggling here in the second part of this half after getting off to a good start. Marshall shooting just under 60%. Diggs in the lane, can't finish, but thrown down by Swanton Roger. Follow from Cal and a thunderous throwdown.
Nice aggressive move by Diggs.
Caden's showing tonight that he can put it on the floor and attack on a couple of occasions. He had a big throwdown earlier in traffic. There's a double team. Way too easy for Andy Gillen. You don't need to make it easy for him.
Yeah, I mean, the Monarchs had determined they were going to double with Swanton Rogers. But in knowing that, when he leaves, somebody automatically has to go to the best player on their team.
Mike Jones really frustrated with his team's defense. Here goes Diggs, can't finish at the rim, rebounded by Durogordon for 2. So Sean Durogordon does what he does, offensive rebounding. Believe it or not, that was his first of the game. He's got 13, and it's back to a 14-point deficit. Stay 12 left. Scotty Hubbard's going to replace Cal Swanton Roger as the Monarchs go a little smaller.
It's certainly enough time. I mean, the Monarchs made a run. Cut it to, what, 6 at one time?
They'd have done 7, yeah. I think, you know, you wonder if that took a lot out of this team. We'll see. This half, he's ridden the starters a little bit longer than in the first half. Although now we're sitting in kind of a mix lineup out there. We'll take a timeout. We've got 7:58 to go in regulation. Marshall trying to drive this one home and get a road win to end a 2-game skid. You're watching Sunbelt Basketball here on ESPN+.
Hey folks, you want to have some fun out here on the water? Go to MidwayUSA.com and get all your fishing supplies. That was fun.
The Disney Resorts Collection is the most magical place to stay at the most magical place on Earth. And with extra time at any of the 4 theme parks, why would you stay anywhere else? Start saving today.
Women's college hoops all season long on the networks of ESPN.
Back inside Chartway Arena, Scott Jackson and Billy Mann. As we look ahead, Old Dominion will play host to Georgia State here on Saturday. And from here, Marshall will head to App State. So Marshall got here early to make sure they would be able to get this game in today because of the snowstorm that hit the 757. And so they've been here a little bit and now trying to make it worth their while and close this one out. Up by 14 with under 8 to go. Back at Domingo with shot clock down to 10 now. The ball switch and they get it to Martin and one. And boy, Robert Davis Jr. took the worst end of that one.
Yeah. So you have to come up with intent. And the intent is for, number one, not for me to get hurt, but the intent is to make certain. See right here? He's too low. He's got to come up with intent. And that intent is to stop, number one, the offense player from shooting the basketball. He was below the circle. He was going to get the raw end of that one.
Martin's playing with 3 fouls as well, and he misses the free throw. And that's about the only thing that didn't work on that play for Martin. He's got 11, and it's a 16-point game once again. So all the good work Old Dominion did early this half has been erased by Marshall, and that's going to be a flat jumper from Robert Davis Jr., and now the shots are not falling for Old Dominion in addition to the defensive breakdowns.
Well, what the difference is, as we talked about, when they make a run, the ball was moving. A bunch of other guys were getting involved in the offense. They were getting laid ups.
Gibbs with the seas just parted for Gibbs as he gets it unabated into the bucket, and the largest lead now for Marshall of 18. Davis Jr. over to Hubbard, who's going to pull the trigger, and he knocks it down. Scotty Hubbard off the bench for 3. The freshman from Jackson Reed High School in Washington, D.C. Another one of these players who's getting more run now as the season's gone on with all the injuries. Mike Jones really likes Hubbard's toughness and the way that he can shoot the ball.
Well, I like his size and the way he moves defensively.
Dawson for 3, and that's going to be in and out. Rebound run down by R.J. Blakeney, pushing it ahead. Blakeney, he's attacking, and he is fouled. They're going to call that a blocking foul, much to the chagrin of the Marshall bench. So Blakeney will go to the line. Question is, are they going to call it a shooting foul, or is it a one-on-one?
A lot of time here. If you look at this, hey.
Might have gotten away with one there.
Well, it looked like he extended his arm.
Sure did. So Blakeney, who's only a 56% free throw shooter, to the line for 2, and he knocks down the first.
But again, I will say, this is players make mistakes. They miss shots. They turn the ball over. Officials are human as well.
Blakeney,
they don't necessarily make the correct call all the time. But it was a call. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was fine. Blakeney hits the second one. Obina and a Chili Killen checks back in for Marshall after he got a brief rest.
There's a lot of time left in this game.
Yeah, Mike Nance, Trey Steins, and R.J. Johnson, our crew here tonight. Appreciate them beating the weather and getting here as well. Martin just got it off in time to Mingo, who beat the timeline by about a second. Wow, a lot of contact there. They're going to call a reach-in foul. And if that's Blakeney, no, it's not. Okay, it's Scotty Hubbard.
And see, that's point in the case. I mean, all the player did, he just covered up the ball. Old Dominion weren't smacking at it. I thought he was a travel.
So 1-1 now for Marshall the rest of the way as well. They're shooting the rest of the way, and that's going to be last touch by Marshall. So Old Dominion ball. So 5:55 to go here. And now Caden Diggs will check in for Jaden Johnson. So Old Dominion with Blakeney, Davis, Diggs, Duro Gordon, and Hubbard on the floor.
Well, all in all, you just have to point out Marshall has shot the ball extremely well.
Yeah,
They've
60%.
moved the ball. 19 assists, 20 assists. You know, those are winnable games.
Blakeney hangs up and gets the 2, cuts it to 11. R.J. Blakeney coming alive here in the second half.
That should have been an and one, don't you think?
Well, it was much more contact there than what he got called for a minute ago. So 11-point game, 5.5 to go. Old Dominion still with time here if they can get stops on top of buckets. And Achille Killen with the mismatch now. He's going to back down Diggs. He's going to get to that right hand. No, can't finish. Rebounded by Duro Gordon. Now Davis ahead. Pushing it and dribbling it away. So 5:05 to go. Old Dominion with a turnover.
Trying to eat up a little bit too much that time. They had the advantage, couldn't cut the corner, so you bring it back out, run some offense.
So Jaden Johnson comes in for Caden Diggs. Johnson, bingo, extended the right hand, no call. Just gets it across the timeline in time. Dawson now is going to dribble it out. So Old Dominion's pressure helping eat some time off. But again, they need stops in buckets. Dawson getting to the hoop, reverse layup for 2. And Achille Killen sealed that defender for him and was able to get to the baseline. Blakeney pump fakes, now drives on Martin and gets the foul. So with 4:21 to go, R.J. Blakeney back to the free throw line.
Well, I tell you, Blakeney is kind of waking up this half, hasn't he?
Absolutely. 14, most of which have been in this half. I think 10 of which have been in this half. Makes the free throw.
I like this R.J. Blakeney.
So it cuts it to a 12-point game.
He's been taken to the basket strong. Defensively, made some steals.
This is the second free throw, though. Ball on the ground. Old Dominion now on top of it. Possession arrow to the Monarchs. So Jaden Johnson gets the ball for Old Dominion after Martin slipped on the floor. So ODU will have possession with 4:18 left here. Regulation again, down by 12. Still lots of time. We saw this team come back on the road, down by as many as 17 against Georgia Southern last Saturday to get a shot at tying the game at the end, but were unable to get that last bucket. Hubbard for 3, and he knocks it down, and it is now a 9-point ball game as Scotty Hubbard has given him 6 points off the bench in this half, and with 4:12 to go, we get a timeout on the floor. We will take it as well as the Monarchs aren't going away yet. Stick with us, Sunbelt basketball here on ESPN+.
Y'all make sure y'all get 3 for $5 because they ain't advertising it, honey.
Oh, we're advertising it. Get 3 pieces of our crispy, juicy signature chicken for just $5. How's that?
Let's go to Popeyes.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. These funds have helped build schools and equip them with state-of-the-art computer labs. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins.
Women's college hoops all season long on the networks of ESPN.
It is March Madness, baby. Let's go. This is just spectacular. There's nothing stopping them right now. The celebration is on. March Madness begins March 19th.
Back inside Chartway Arena, Old Dominion and Marshall here tonight. Here's Robert Davis Jr., the spotlight on him as he has knocked down some big threes in the first half for Old Dominion when they got off to a slow start offensively. He kick-started them there, and then here in the second half has not had the three going, but has had the ability to get to the bucket and make some shots, and this was back from the first half. One of those 3 threes he had in the opening half, and Robert Davis Jr. with 18 points to lead Old Dominion. But R.J. Blakeney is helped out with 15. Also a big couple threes from Scotty Hubbard here lately, including the last one that got us to the timeout. The freshman from Jackson Reed High School in Washington, D.C. had seen increased playing time lately and has made the most of it here tonight once again. And there's Hubbard with the ball after the tip away from Blakeney, and a foul on Marshall. So Old Dominion's defense able to create another turnover with 4:09 to go, and they're going to the line.
How about that play defensive by R.J., right? I mean, that was more like a football player. Defensive back, the ball is up in the air. He doesn't worry about where the offensive player, he's tracking the football, the basketball in that case.
Scotty Hubbard to the free throw line, where he is 67% of the season before that one went. He hasn't had a ton of opportunities at the line, but he's a good shooter. I mean, we've seen him here tonight. He's got 6 3-pointers on the season. Played in 10 games, had 7 points in 18 minutes in the loss at Georgia Southern. And here tonight, 8 points off the bench, all in the second half. And ODU now has extended their run to 13-2 now. And another turnover by Marshall.
They're making a fire
and Hubbard
drill.
making it happen.
I mean, you got to appreciate the effort.
Great effort from the Monarchs here to cut it. Now with a chance to cut into the deficit a little bit more. Duro Gordon, and we'll go to the line for 2.
I'm telling you, they're putting some pressure on Marshall. Marshall kind of went to sleep offensively, and the Monarchs put the pressure on.
So Sean Duro Gordon to the line,
Sean Duro Gordon with 2 shots.
where he this season is at 80%. Oh, and misses this first.
Got to hit those free throws, but
and he was 3 for 3 of the night too.
Got to make the free throw, especially when you want to set up that defensive pressure.
So do you want a 6-0 run over the last 16 seconds to cut it to the 7-point deficit? Now a 6-point deficit. 7-0 run for ODU. Mingo gets it across to Dawson. Marshall with the lead and the basketball. Under 4 minutes to go here in regulation. Hubbard out on Spear. Spear picks up his dribble, gets it over to Gibbs. Gibbs now is going to attack right at Johnson, who gets called for the foul. So Jacob Gibbs will go to the free throw line for 2, where he's 80% of the year.
Well, sometimes in games like this, you know, Coach Jones finds some diamonds out there on the bench.
Gibbs drills it. So back to a 3-point game at this point. And knocks them both down. So Gibbs very smooth. Takes care of business at the line. So it's an 8-point game. Jaden Johnson, R.J. Blakeney, Robert Davis Jr. out there, who's going to pull up the 3, and that's going to be long. Scotty Hubbard and Duro Gordon as well for the Monarchs, and that's going to be a foul on Hubbard, and Gibbs will get back to the free throw line.
The foul is charged to the Monarchs number 7, Scotty Hubbard. That's his second team count.
See Robert Davis Jr. talking to himself there. Seemed like a quick 3. They had a lot of time on the clock, could have moved the ball a little bit.
Definitely was quick.
And he hasn't made a 3 in the second half, so I'm sure in his mind he thinks the next one's going in, because that's the way he shoots, right? He hits them in bunches, he'll miss them in bunches, but then he usually gets himself back into a rhythm, but has not been able to do it here in the second half.
was driving to the basket.
Missed 2 free throws, big from Gibbs. So the pressure there, the crowd making a little noise. See if the Old Dominion offense can take advantage of it now. Duro Gordon attacking. Gets his man up and can't finish. Gets his own rebound and gets fouled. Sean Duro Gordon doing what he does better than most in the country. That is get on the offensive glass.
Clock stops, which is not what Marshall wants to have happen. But got to finish the deal. Got to hit the free throws.
So 3:12 to go. Duro Gordon to the line for 2. Shaw knocks it down. He's got 15 points to go along with his 6 rebounds. He's also got 3 steals tonight. Duro Gordon, the team's leading scorer, along with Robert Davis Jr. coming into tonight. Hits them both. So a 5-point basketball game, make that a 6-point basketball game, 72-66. Old Dominion's going to try to turn up the pressure here. Spears gets it, throws it way ahead. He's got a wide open Chili Killen who gets the throwdown. And just like that, it's back to an 8-point game. Johnson out to Blakeney. Blakeney now attacking. He gets off the left hand, can't finish, but he's going to the line as Chili Killen gets it for the foul. And for Killen, that's his 3rd. And Blakeney to the line for 2.
I don't know why any coach or any player will argue with that call.
Yeah, he's swatting at it. Yeah. Blakeney did a good job to get it body up there between them, but he can't hit the free throw.
But it's almost part of it is the officials had not been calling it all game. So when you make the correct call, the other team is surprised.
Blakeney misses the first free throw and makes a second. So splits a pair, and Batata Zegas checks in for Scotty Hubbard. So Zegas in for some defense here as, again, Old Dominion's going full court pressure. Spear almost walked with it. Instead, he throws it over to me. I've got it. He thought I was open.
You were there.
I caught it, too. I had it the whole way. So Old Dominion now with an opportunity to take advantage of the Spear turnover. 7-point game.
Quick buckets. Got to move quick.
Jaden Johnson with Spear on him, waiting for the screen. Now gets to his right hand. Johnson for 2. The freshman delivers. 5-point ball game. Marshall able to beat the pressure. Dawson all the way to the bucket, and he gets 2. What a big-time bucket from Michael Dawson.
That was big. No one's hurt him.
He had no hesitation, just in traffic, too. Jaden Johnson fade away. That's not going to go. Rebounded by Dawson. Old Dominion doesn't have much wiggle room for misses. Here comes Gibbs, and he loses it on the way up, gets it back, throws it out. Spear loses it. It's on the floor. Scotty Hubbard's got it. Hubbard's trying to call timeout. I think Hubbard's calling timeout. No, they're called jump ball, and that's going to stay with Marshall.
I saw a bunch of bodies flying, and I saw a Marshall player kind of dive from the free throw line onto the foul. Watch this. And here comes the Marshall player. He dives into
Spear. Spear goes over the body. Yeah. That's interesting. Hubbard is trying to get a timeout, and instead it's a jump ball, and the possession area is with Marshall. So Marshall able to keep it with 2:02 to go in a 7-point lead. Old Dominion, again, needs to stop. Can't really afford to give up any more buckets at this point. Hubbard now on Spear. There's 8 on the clock. Spear gets it to Chili Killen. 5 on the clock. Dawson going to the basket. Loses it on the way up. And it's going to be a shot clock violation. I think I say 1 second on the clock. But whose ball? It should have been Old Dominion ball, right? Or did they say it got poked away by a Monarch? Let's see what they're saying. They're going to say Marshall basketball with just 1 on the clock, and now they're going to go look at it.
They're going to go look at it.
Because it really looked like he just lost it, but maybe somebody got a hand on it.
Well, swipe down, but even a swipe down, you think.
Let's see.
Watch how the ball changes directions. Swipe.
Yeah, I don't know. They're saying Hubbard knocked it out, I guess. I don't know. It's either off of Hubbard or it's off of Dawson. Let's see if you get a better angle here. That's a good angle. Keep that going forward.
Good defensive play.
I don't know. I think it went off Dawson. That looked like it was off Dawson the whole way. So either it's going to be Old Dominion ball or it's going to be Marshall with just 1 second on the shot clock with 1:46 to go here in regulation with the Thundering Herd with a 7-point lead.
Well, one thing Old Dominion is they've got to be kicking themselves and realizing when Coach talks about getting off to an early start.
Yeah.
Imagine if they playing this way the first half, how different this game would be.
Well,
you can't wait around.
Yeah, you can't wait around. And you look at the free throw advantage. ODU shot 29 free throws to 11 from Marshall, and this was something they knew they could exploit coming into the game because Marshall, again, has a propensity to foul, but it took them a whole half, really almost part of the second half, to get serious about going to the basket.
Well, one thing, they fouled a player in Hubbard. I mean, I didn't see that coming from him. I mean, I've seen him practice a lot.
Right.
But to come into this game and really have an impact defensively and offensively, and he goes about 6'4". He adds another piece to Mike Jones' pie.
So they're going to give it to Marshall with 1 on the clock. So Gibbs is going to inbound. I mean, you basically have a tip-up, right? Like this is just you can't catch and shoot with 1. It's just a tip play, and that's going to be a violation. So Old Dominion ball with 1:44 to go. And they've got to score on this possession, down by 7.
So it wasn't even a full second, was it?
No. So Cal Swant Roger to come in and defend on that play. Now sits down. They have R.J. Blakeney out there, Robert Davis Jr., Scotty Hubbard, Jaden Johnson, and Sean Duragordon for the Monarchs. For the Thundering Herd, it's Mingo, Gibbs, Dawson, Anachili, Killen, and Spear. So Old Dominion needs a bucket here, down by 7. Johnson over to Duragordon. Duragordon now with Dawson on him. Gets downhill, loses it for a second. Greg gathers himself and draws the foul with 1:29 to go. Duragordon is so good at creating the contact when he gets to the post.
I mean, but that's how the Sun Belt has allowed guys drop their shoulder, and most times they don't call a foul. So you go to the basket, go strong, and you get the foul.
Dawson's got to go out. He's bleeding. Or at least get covered up here real quick, get a Band-Aid.
Is there blood on the floor?
The floor's a little slippery there. The ball's slippery too. There's blood on the ball. Then they're bringing everybody off. I think they would just get a new ball. There's blood on Robert Davis Jr. shirt too. Jason Mitchell, the Old Dominion trainer, attending to all that. Looked like Duragordon slipped initially, didn't he, when he was trying to get his feet set? So, there's a wet spot down there or what's going on, but Duragordon to the line where tonight he is 6 of 7. We mentioned on the season, coming into the game, he was at 79%.
I mean, I know if you're Marshall, this last 2 minutes has drug out for a long time.
Duragordon drills it, so it's a 6-point game, back to a 2-possession ball game.
Got to hit
pin
those
drop in
free
this
throws.
place. So ODU now 21 of 30 from the free throw line. Duragordon's second is off the back iron. Oh boy. But stolen away by the Monarchs. Johnson kicks it out to Hubbard, swings it to Davis. Davis now drives, up and under, can't finish. Tipped around and rebounded by Dawson, pushing it ahead. And the Herd off and running. Dawson now thinks better, but pulls it out. And Chili Killen passes it over to Mingo. Old Dominion, will they play defense here with about 20 left on the shot clock and 1 minute and 9 seconds, or 5 seconds rather, in the game clock. Now we're at a minute. They're just going to try to play defense here, get the stop. And instead, Davis fouls with 56.8 to go.
I could have sworn on that last drive by Davis Jr., he literally, kind of ducked his head and really didn't go hard to the basket. He sort of ducked his head and threw it up in hopes to get fouled. I'd like to see that play again.
Yeah, Spear to the line now where he is 87% of the season. It's been about as automatic as you can get, and he drills it. So now a 7-point Marshall lead, back to 3 possessions. That miss was costly for Old Dominion. You caught the break after the missed Duro Gordon free throw. You really needed to take advantage of that, and now it is a miss, so a 7-point game still. They've got to hurry with just 55 to go. Jaden Johnson hands it off to Davis. Davis loses the ball. Johnson now attacking. Up, off the window for the freshman with 43 seconds to go, and a timeout by Mike Jones with a 5-point game.
Wow.
Big time bucket and ball handling by Jaden Johnson to make that one.
I tell you, it's the intensity here. As I said, quick bucket.
Behind the back, up, under, and just smooth from the freshman. From Waldorf, Maryland, Jaden Johnson. He has been rock solid this year as the point guard's carried a lot of minutes. Really doesn't have a backup point guard on the roster with Emo Essien health issue. They found out late in the offseason, really right before the season, I should say.
But as much as he handles the basketball, talking about Johnson, he very rarely turns the ball over. He can play 30-plus minutes and have 1 or 2 turnovers.
Yeah, that's the thing that's going to excite you, Mike Jones. You got Jaden Johnson, freshman, Caden Diggs, Scotty Hubbard now being a big part of it. You know, the way Raymond has given you some good minutes here lately. You've had a lot of younger players step up in key moments this season. And here's Marshall trying to beat the pressure. Spear gets it in. He's getting tied up. Taken away by Duro Gordon. Off the window for 2. And it's a 3-point game with 38 seconds to go. And another Old Dominion timeout. Wow.
That pressure is incredible. That pressure. So what happens is, I don't know what the officials talking about.
I don't know what the officials talking about either, but here's the turnover. Duro Gordon with the 2. He's got 19.
I thought they were going to look at to see if it was a foul, because 50, he looked like he reached and hit Duro Gordon on his shoulder.
It's a full timeout for Old Dominion. I'm not sure what they're looking at this point, unless it's a clock.
Look. They might
think it's a
look
clock.
at it, but watch number 50 and on the shoulder.
They can't fix that, though.
Yeah, they won't call that.
No. But what I'm saying is, I think they're looking at the clock right now. Maybe ran a little bit longer than it needed to after the Duro Gordon bucket, because Duro Gordon scored at 40. They call time. It should be 40 seconds. I think that's what Old Dominion is talking about. Well, there's 38.3 right now, but it should be 40. I think if you look at the official scoring, it says the timeout was called at 40 seconds.
What Marshall has not figured out about Old Dominion's press is if they bring a big back all the way back, Old Dominion doesn't even care about that guy back there. They pressure the ball. They don't want you to look ahead. And that's when Marshall, early on in the half, they were able to break the press.
All right, looks like they're going to keep it at 38.3. Originally it was 38. They're going to get 38.3, although the official stats here in the building say it's 40 seconds when the timeout was called. But 38.3, a 3-point ball game, and this full court pressure by the Monarchs has really caused some problems for the Thundering Herd, who had a comfortable lead here in the second half on a couple of occasions and have seen it slip away. Can they finish? 18-point lead to just 3 now. Old Dominion again with the pressure. Dawson in the corner. And the timeout called by Corny Jackson on the Marshall sideline.
And that's a perfect example of what I was talking about. Marshall had a guy back, but because they don't allow you to advance the ball, they don't allow you to see up the floor. That was like having 3 men because you had the sideline, so that was a third man.
The worst place to be is on the sideline. You want to get that ball in the middle, right?
Yes.
Old Dominion has done a great job with his full court pressure. So it's a 30-second Marshall timeout. .3 to go. So Marshall is out of timeouts. Now Old Dominion has 1 left. So this will be interesting. If they get tied up this time, they can't bail themselves out.
But I love a game when the officials let the players decide who's going to win. I love a game like that. And that's what this has turned into.
See if Marshall can beat the pressure this time. Big Cal Swat Roger. Now Dawson get in the corner. He's got it. He's got it across half court. You're going to have to foul. Dawson all the way. No, throws it away. Oh, and then Old Dominion throws it. Block shot by R.J. Blakeney. Here comes Duro Gordon. A 3-point game. Duro Gordon gets it knocked away as well. Oh, my goodness. But it's a tie-up possession arrow Old Dominion with 18 and a half to go.
How many times?
Unbelievable.
In that period of time where we say, oh, no. Oh, my goodness, a block. Oh, my goodness, a turnover. How many times
Here it is
did that
again.
play?
Dawson breaks the pressure. Goes up, loses the
Turns
ball.
it over.
Then Old Dominion throws it right back, and then it's Blakeney.
Didn't the
Block
block.
shot. And then Old Dominion right here. Duro Gordon gets himself
There's
in
a
trouble.
foul.
Gets the ball stripped away, and then ties it up. So Old Dominion inbounding under their basket underneath the basket with 18 and a half to go. And down by 3, although you can score a quick 2 here as well. Ball's tipped away. It's loose, and there's going to be Old Dominion. What? They're saying the ball was last touched by ODU out of bounds.
They're going to review it.
Now they're going to review it. The ref's not sure what's happening.
Who was that was taking it out for Old Dominion? Because that was poorly executed on the takeout.
Yeah, it
on
got
the
tipped
delivery.
away. It was Johnson. We'll get another look at it, but 15.9 to go. And that was weird because immediately the ref said the heel was on the line. It was pointing for Marshall, but I don't think Old Dominion actually had the ball in their hands when he pointed it that way.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I mean, we were
Here we go.
blocked
Let's
out.
get it again. So it's Jaden Johnson inbounding
Yeah.
it. So maybe he's saying Johnson touched it here out of bounds, but he never really had possession of the ball. Like the ball's loose right here. That could have been a travel. It could have been a lot of things.
But his foot is out right there. But
Right,
his foot is off there.
But does he have the ball?
And then there's the Marshall player. I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
kind of a late whistle. Like if you're going to call heel on the line, the whistle should have been blown about a second and a half before that.
But, you know, here again, when you talk about fundamentals of basketball, Johnson, you got to make a ball fake.
Right.
He's got a bigger player in front of him. You got to make a ball fake, look the other way, and then come back to where you want to pass it. But these are all learning things. These are things that you learn doing film cells.
It's been one of ODU's strengths this year, too, has been out of bounds play, inbounds plays, I should say, coming out of timeout. So that one
But be
never
very
got off the ground.
disappointing if they don't even get a shot opportunity. But they will, because I'm assuming they're going to foul right away.
Well, you're going to have to foul right away, but it's, again, a three-point game. So, really, Marshall essentially just needs to make one free throw. It's been a long time over reviewing this thing, so I don't know if it's as cut and dry as they originally thought it was. They got to do the clock as well.
But it's not cut and dry. I mean, I couldn't tell after watching it a few times we watched it.
So, officials saying Marshall ball. Fans booing, as you might expect here. And let's see what the clock looks like.
But it's really, you know, this is still about what can you control. Old Dominion had an upset bounce out of bounds.
So they added 2.1 seconds left on the clock, to the clock, I should say. 2.2 to the clock. So it's 17.1, but this has been the tough thing for Marshall is getting the ball inbound. If you're ODU, you might have them right where you want them in this situation, the way it's been lately. But Jacob Gibbs will inbound it for Marshall. Again, can't run the baseline. It's after a turnover. 17.1 to go. That's a long count. Dawson gets it, and he gets fouled. Swant Roger fouls Dawson, who's an 83% free throw shooter. So if you're Coach Jackson, you're probably happy to have Michael Dawson on the line for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I'm not certain that
shooting two.
Coach Jones wanted that combination, having Swant and Rogers in the game at that time when you need a defensive stop. I mean,
well, he wanted him on the inbounder though,
yeah.
And that's been working. So Dawson, yeah, makes it much more challenging. It's now a two-possession game with 14.7 to go. So ODU's going to need to make a bucket in a hurry and obviously get it back. So Swant Roger sits down, and the second one's good. So need a fast bucket here. Doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a 3. He's got to save some time on the other side. Johnson, deep 3. Davis, way off. Blakeney, they say no. Blakeney was not fouled. Instead, they're going to say off his shin, and that should do it with 5.8 to go. Although Mike Jones wants a replay. Mike Jones is begging the official to look at it because he's saying it wasn't hit by the Old Dominion player. He's saying it was hit by the Marshall player, right? But I guess they're saying it went off his shin. Let's get another look. It definitely hit Blakeney. Yeah.
Okay.
Throw ahead. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be Spear, and he'll dribble it out. Nope. Fouled by Duro Gordon with 3.6 to go. And Marshall is going to get a big road win here, ending a 2-game skid before they head over to App State. And for Old Dominion, this is going to be loss number 4 straight and head to the wrong direction in the Sun Belt standings right here in the final days of the regular season.
February is so important, especially the last part of February, just before the tournament. There's a bunch of teams, 1 or 2 games separate them. You got to have all these games.
Yeah, and Georgia State, again, one of those teams that Old Dominion's right next to. They're going to need to take care of business here on Saturday night and protect their home court, which has been a struggle lately. Johnson for 3, and that's going to go off the window, and it counts. But a little too late for Old Dominion as they fall 81-77. Tough one. Showed a lot of fight here in the second half, but certainly needed a faster start tonight and some lulls in the middle that come back and hurt them. But now you got to have a short memory in the Sun Belt with these Thursday, Saturday games, Billy. They got to get over it and get ready for Georgia State.
Yeah, but what did you learn from this? It's kind of like, forget what happened. Now, look what we are capable of when we put our heads down and we just grind it out. Old Dominion proved to me that they could be a very good team if they start early like they did in the second half.
Let's look at some of the highlights from this one. Cal Swant Roger got started early off the dish from Robert Davis Jr. Then it was Caden Diggs, the freshman for the Monarchs, throwing it down. And then a lot of ball movement and a big 3 from Mingo for Marshall. As the Thundering Herds, Obina and Achille Killen was a huge problem tonight for Old Dominion. He finished with 24 points. Sean Duro Gordon finishes with 19 for Old Dominion, 6 boards. The freshman Jaden Johnson ended up with 10 points tonight for Old Dominion in the loss, and obviously the defense turned it up where they needed for the Monarchs. And again, more from Jaden Johnson there, but a little bit too late as ODU falls 81-77. For Billy Mann, I'm Scott Jackson saying so long from Chartway Arena. Once again, Marshall 81-77 winners over the Old Dominion Monarchs. All games airing on ESPN networks are streaming live and aired on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night from Norfolk.